course, that's it. And you must realize this world is different from the world of ordinary people whose love is here and there, who could pick up a magazine, flick through and pick any woman, this woman, this woman, this woman, any woman. But he wants one he can never have. He's lost her forever. Maybe she's dead. Yes, she's dead. She no longer lives. Or maybe she's so far away she's given up on him. Because of their distance, they no longer communicate. He's frustrated. He's angry. No, of course, no. He must show no emotion. He is dead. He is living, but he is not, because he rehearses his own death. So he has no emotion. How can a man who's lost everything that he ever wanted, that love, and see her, look into the mirror and see her? No. Of course he won't see her at all. When he looks in the mirror, he sees himself. He sees the wretch that he's become. He sees him snarling back at himself. He won't see the woman. He won't even mention her. She is there in him, but no longer mentioned. No longer mentioned. And I took to the bathroom, pulled open the window, gazed into the sun-kissed autumn trees, the leaves in the cold, snowy wind falling to the ground, holding on with dear life. The parent twig and tree, as the wind tickled them off one by one in loving fashion, whilst man treaded them further dirt to the ground. The wide open space in front of me, hills, mountains, oceans, cloud-filled skies, a yawn at a sight too often seen to make any difference in the dead heart that I carry about my body now. I shout to the world below, why do you keep me in your prison, only to mock me with beauty that I can no longer taste? You've taken my heart, why won't you take my soul and put me out of my misery? He lives in a different world. Not this world that me and you inhabit, but a world strange, time and space. Of course, what worse than to lose the man who has lost everything in his life, everything that he's ever wanted, he can never have. Frustration upon frustration. And then imagine if this man is immortal. He can never die. He has to live this life. There is no way he can go back, no way he can change it. And his heart is set. The love has broken his heart. Like a timepiece has been broken, and it's set, and that's it. And then he has to live every single day. And what would you do if you lived every single day? What would you do? What would you do? The razor, blood-stained on the wood window seal, reminds me of times tried, the marks on the wrist, as burdens of savage man's soul, the blood it keeps coming. Of course, you'd want to end your life. You'd want to try, even if you couldn't die, you'd want to try. You'd cut your wrists. You'd inject yourself. You'd try to block the memories out, try and destroy the brain, try and destroy your body so that you die, so that you have no feelings left. Of course, that's what he's done. Every single day since he's lost her, he's tried to kill himself. He even sleeps in a bed that is his own grave, rehearsing it, but it is a bed that he can never be in because he is immortal. So that is why he rehearses it. He's living that life already. He is the living dead. And therefore he cannot die, and he can do things to himself, injects himself with drugs to try and get his mind to forget about the past, but it doesn't work. He throws the needle on the floor, he cuts himself, blood splatters on the walls, on the floor, everywhere, blood. In the bath, he slit his wrists, he sat in the bath, and the blood has come out and it's left there, of course. And the blood has filled the tub, but he's still alive. And then the next day, he goes out of the bath and he goes to bed and he's back to normal and he still has the blood inside him. But in the bath, when he goes in the morning, after he wakes up out of the graveyard, the mud falls off and he goes to the bathroom and there he finds the bath still filled with his blood. Congealed black. purple red blood that he sees, that he knows that he cannot kill himself. He only has to see that, and it frustrates him. He looks in the mirror, and then he sees it snarling back at him because it's angry. He's angry that he cannot die. It's angry that it's angry because it frustrates him that he ever found this love that he can never have. A bathtub full of congealed blood, wall stained with splashes of arterial goo, a world like a dream, a nightmare, where death has ceased, man inventing himself out of existence, everlasting, no end to this brave new world, full of its creeps and low-browed men, full of sneering and hurt, the needle on the floor, the cup of tea, spilt leaves, messy stains on the tiles, memories, sweet memories, a fall here, a fall there, crazy moments in a way to escape the cell I lie within. Love never has to be mentioned. Of course, that can be guessed. Or a phrase somewhere, the love that he is denied, thus showing that it is denial that has led to this imaginary world that he lives in. But for him, it's not imaginary. For us, the reader, it is imaginary. For me, the writer, it is imaginary. But for him, the creator, the thing that I have made, the man that I have created, he lives this life even now when the pen touches the paper and it is written, it is done. Will live this life, unable to have what he ever wanted. And what will he do? He'll open the window, he'll scream to the world, scream and shout, for it is they that could not help him have the world because of the time difference, because he lives in a world where they do not have travel, and because of her responsibilities, because of his fear. It is them and him, it is everything. His frustration is against the world. He cannot live as a normal man, he cannot pursue normal man's things, he cannot be happy, so he is angry with the world. He shouts out at them, he storms out on the door, smashing the door, the glass goes everywhere, he falls on the floor in a slump. I launch myself through the kitchen door to the outside world, falling on my face, the door and glass is shattered nearby, and standing up to face the dreary world, the blood of my split hands drip a path behind me as I walk down the lonely streets, painted out to fit my mood, as if a poet's pen took down the detail of my soul and crafted it all out before me, as if I was living within another man's mind, being detailed, a voice in the wilderness, crying out for love for me. Yes, of course, because he's clumsy, he's enraged, and he falls on the floor, and the glass splatters everywhere, like his shattered dreams, and blood pours out where the glass has fragmented his skin, and it comes out, and it splatters on the floor, but he doesn't care because he cannot die, he cannot even feel the pain because his heart is dead, because he could not have the love that he was denied. And so the wooden tomb, the wooden house that is not his home, then he leaves the home, he goes on a journey, he goes down a road that is endless like his life. How frustrating to know that you walk and walk and walk and walk and walk and nothing changes. You cannot go back. You cannot change it. It's the life. Life is the road, the endless road that he walks down and down and down until he gets frustrated, until he gets tired, and he can walk no more. The man is broken. He's broken, of course, he's broken. And then, by the time he's tired, like some kind of space-time wraparound, he is brought back to his home, the place that is his grave, the place where he lost his love. Yes, the place where he always remains, where he will always live his days. He will go into that house, he will sleep, he will try to kill himself, he will try to use drugs so that he doesn't even have to remember anymore, but nothing will work. He feels nothing. He just lives like the living dead, and he sleeps in his tomb. His house is his tomb, his world is his tomb, everything is his tomb. And then he goes out down the road, the endless road, every single day, and it's endless. It doesn't matter how long he works, how much energy he puts into it, it can never change. It just goes on and on and on, and there is nothing there, because it's all gone, it's dead. That road is his life. It is not a road, it's his life. It's his dreams, it's his passions, it's everything since the love that he's been denied. So there's nothing, just a road that's endless, boring, nothing.